and welcome to Bonus Action Heroes Read Reddit Stories. This episode, we discuss how the DM can help the players to invest and engage in the game. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I am Veronica, and this is Matt. Say hello, Matt.
Hello, Matt.
I knew you would do that. Am I the asshole for wanting my players to take pre-made characters for the campaign I'm running? This is a post on RD&D from Whole Birthday 7042. So basically what the title said, I want to run a Lost Mines of Phandelver campaign to show a new player in our group the ropes and ask the players to choose one of the pre-made characters to play. But now two of the more experienced players complain about it and I don't know how to handle the situation. First thoughts?
My first question is, why do you want to run pre-made characters? I think that's my first question. Is it because you're a new GM and you don't perhaps have a solid grasp of the rules and it just makes it easier for you as the GM to understand those? Or is there a story reason? Because I think ultimately, if you communicate why to the players, they may well be more supportive of what you want to do. If you just want to do it because they're in the box and you want to use them, I don't know. I am all for letting players play what they want to play in a way they want to play it, as long as it's not characters that are against the party or are going to disrupt the party, as long as it's not that. Because a player that's playing what they want to play is more invested, it's going to pour more energy into the game, they'll be more enthusiastic, they will learn their character. So
yeah, for a lot of more experienced players, that's going to be one of the best things about it. They want to make those interesting builds, especially if they've come from being forever DMs or something like that. They'll probably have loads of character ideas on the back burner. I can't really think of a narrative reason why you'd have to play pre-made characters unless they had somehow woven every pre-made character into the plot somehow, but I don't see why you couldn't just replace them. Does the class and race matter? Does the build matter? As long as they've got the name and backstory and it's something you can discuss and be flexible with. I am on the asshole side here, but I do have an update for you.
Okay, I mean, just one more comment before we go to that. So that really is, I have played in games where GMs are like, anything is available. And then I have played in games where the GM is like, I don't like this class, I don't like that class. You're only allowed subclasses that are out of the player's handbook. And for me as a veteran player, it's really disheartening because I need to get creative. I've played so many games, I've played so many characters that I need to make it fun for me. And if you say, well, you've got to play this bard and that's your only choice, then I am not going to be as invested in your game, sorry to say. And it doesn't mean it can't be a brilliant game, but I just think, I see it all the time with Out of the Abyss. If you read the comments on our videos, you'll see people saying, I wouldn't let my players play basically all the exotic races that are in our game. Where
I'm a strange race. I'm a fairy. That required trust between you and I, because immediately a race that can fly,
yes.
As a GM, I would be like, ooh, whoa, that immediately gives you an advantage over the other players. So we need to talk about that. And I've always said, I'm not going to abuse it. I don't want to I certainly don't come across as more powerful than the other players, that's for sure.
No, you spend a lot of time unconscious. No, exactly. So yeah, I think as a GM, it is in your interest to have players who are playing something they want to play. That's my final comment. Just as a comment in chat, would you be comfortable with your players making subtle adjustments to the pre-made characters to make them their own? It might be a compromise that helps to get them on board. Yeah, great suggestion. But I think the key is understanding why you want to use pre-made characters, because that's the heart of this. Communication, as always.
My reasons for the pre-made characters only is that I'm pretty new to being a DM, and since I only have 2 days to prepare, I don't know if I'd be able to handle the characters they create, and since I know at least one of the experienced players is an extreme power gamer, I don't want the new player to feel overshadowed or useless. And then there's a response to that update. It from Sir Dudeness. It looks like you skipped session 0.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is why session zeros are important. Don't get me wrong, the majority of my RPG life, we didn't have session zeros. They're relatively new. You would often talk about what you expected and what you wanted, but if I had £1 for every game I played where we had an asshole character who just liked to disrupt the party, I probably could have retired already. But session zeros are, they solve all of these problems. That sounds a legitimate concern, but ultimately a player that is, power gaming in itself is not a problem, except when they're the only one doing it. I think if your party are all min-maxed and power gaming, the GM can rise up to that and accommodate it. But I think if you've got newbies who don't know what they're doing and then a power player, but again, you can use that player to your advantage to say, these people are new. Can you support them? Can you help them? And when I say that, I don't mean tell them what to do and how to play their turn, because no one likes that.
They could work it into their backstories. One of the more experienced players can have a pre-existing relationship with the new character, even if they are a pre-made character, and that instantly gives them an in to the roleplay side of things, which a newbie is going to be a bit nervous about.
Yeah.
I have a final update for you.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I realised I was a bit of an ass. I'm going to try and run a session 0 for my players. Thank you all for the feedback. Sorry if this question was stupid. I'm really new to this and kind of stressed out about doing things wrong.
There's no such thing as a stupid question.
No.
Anyone that says otherwise is...
The fact that they went to Reddit and voiced their concerns, it shows they're concerned. If they were the asshole, they wouldn't. They'd just plow through and say, this is the way I'm doing it, and no one would be happy.
Exactly. And as I suspected, they're a new GM and their reasons for wanting to do it make sense. So session 0 would have resolved that ahead of time. If you've got some players that are really experienced and you're a new GM, utilize their knowledge, take advantage of that knowledge as the GM, get them to help you. GMs aren't there to do everything. It is a team. It's a team effort.
So maybe on this one, just say to the more experienced players, can you not power game on this? Can you make sure you know your character's rules as written? Because I'm going to trust you with that, because I'm still learning my side. This is from Algae Heavy.
Well, yeah.
Yep. RPG Horror Stories. This is a story from several years ago, so forgive me if some of the details are a bit vague. I recently found the Call of Cthulhu RPG and felt like giving it a go with my old gaming group. To ease myself into the game, I ran one of the scenarios from the book itself. At this point, all I remember is there was an old house with some sort of horror demon locked in the attic, and the wards keeping it there were about to give out. So I gather my group, we all have fun building characters, and we're off. The game started fairly well, with everyone investigating clues, role-playing with the NPCs, and being genuinely intrigued by what was going on. This is up until we reached the old house. When they began looking around, they heard a scratching noise from the attic. At this point, one of my players, let's call him Jay, says, "There's obviously something dangerous in the attic." I'm thinking, this is good. The players aren't complete idiots and have started piecing the clues together. Until his next sentence. "It's obviously a trap and I'm far too smart to fall for this trick. Nobody go up there." At this point, the game just ground to a halt, as Jay refused to investigate the obvious clue and just sat there smugly talking about how he'd outsmarted me by not going into the attic. I believe at one point he called himself too genre savvy to go up there. Here's a tip: if the genre is mystery and you refuse to investigate, then perhaps you don't actually know how the genre works.
Imagine how good horror films would be if no one ever went outside in their underwear, had sex, or went out on their own in the dark. It wouldn't be. No one would watch them, would they?
The thing is, like it says there's some good points in the comments about how they've sort of written that off as this player was an idiot, and they were, but it is salvageable.
It is salvageable as a GM. There's things you can do. I mean, I think that's what my character would do. Player again, isn't it? Who is so hyper focused on what their character would do, that they are not thinking about the game. Ultimately, if you make a D&D character who does not want to go on adventures, you're failing before you've even started.
You're an NPC.
You are, yeah. You need to make a character that wants to investigate the problems. If they're intelligent, maybe they are super curious about the supernatural. Maybe they're super curious about this old house and stories to do with it. It's your responsibility as the player to come up with a reason as to why they would investigate it. If you've just gone, oh, I'm too smart to investigate it, then you've made a rubbish character. I'm sorry.
Role-playing to an extent is improv. So, yeah, you've got to make someone that says yes and.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're just saying no. I also read, I nearly put this story in, but this one was more concise about the same point, where the players just kept going, this is above my pay grade, let's go to the police. And the police kept ignoring them, and they kept going back with more evidence.
I think I've seen that one. It's like, oh, you're just making a game that is not fun for you or the storyteller, the GM. Why? Why would you do that? It's quite funny as a story, but I wouldn't want to play that, would you?
Like Dr. Ruse suggests in the comments, they ignore the sound in the attic, but now the sound is upstairs. They still ignore it, it's coming down the stairs. Now it's next door, inside the walls. What, are you leaving? The front door won't open. The windows, the shutters are closed and won't open. If they don't come to the plot, don't do anything to progress the plot, then it's perfectly acceptable to bring the plot to them. They complain about railroading, then ask if they'd rather be able to leave and the mystery would never be resolved.
Exactly. And what's the point in playing if you do that? Yeah, you can hear something in the attic. You hear something clambering down the outside of the walls. Now you're stupid because you've stayed in the house and the thing is outside.
Well, this is the thing. Like, I've said this so many times, I love my characters. I want to do everything I can for them not to die, but not stop the story.
Exactly. And in Out of the Abyss, I've interwoven all of your backstories with the main plot. But I know full well that if someone dies, some of those plots will potentially be derailed. But it doesn't mean I can't still use them. They'll just change. They will just be different.
Weaving that plot in like that, that's reward for me saying yes and for going and doing the arguably riskier thing, because
exactly
my character is motivated to find out this information. Whatever the stakes.
Precisely. It's rewarding for everyone involved. And there's no such thing as wasted plot. But yeah, ultimately, even if I design an encounter and you never go to that place, it doesn't mean I can't lift and shift it and use it somewhere else. It's like the work does not have to go to waste because a character's died or a character is a dumbass masquerading as someone very clever. It always makes me laugh though, because Call of Cthulhu, when people abbreviate it, it just looks like cock.
Cock, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, lowering the.
I'd done so well not to swear, and then, well, no. Cock isn't a swear. Just every male chicken.
Yes, male chicken.
It just doesn't have the same oomph when you're angry. We're going to be chatting about Out of the Abyss.
Yes, so the plan is, what I've realized is on our YouTube channel, most of the people that are watching the Out of the Abyss stream, nearly all of the people that have watched all of the episodes are GMs who are looking to run it and want to get ideas, understand how to run a certain scene, a certain location. So yeah, I think it was Veronica's idea that we should probably talk about that. I've ran Out of the Abyss twice now, definitely learned a lot from doing it twice, and also made a lot of mistakes. So it's a good opportunity to talk through the challenges of each chapter of Out of the Abyss, but also to share some of the things that I ballsed up so you don't have to.
But you get to ask the questions and enjoy things that won't make the edit by coming to the live Twitch chat. So if you
enjoy,
yeah. I've run out of pep.
Yeah, endure. You get to endure.
Thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed this, please don't forget to like and subscribe. You can also join the live chat on Twitch at Bonus Action Heroes. We regularly stream on Sundays, Mondays and Wednesdays at 7:30 PM GMT. If you want to suggest Reddit stories to cover, please leave a comment or join our Discord linked in the description. You can also check out our playthroughs of Icewind Dale, Out of the Abyss, Curse of Strahd and Vampire the Masquerade in the playlists in our channel.